Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sesh. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, and happy holidays to my hotties across the world. How the hell are we all feeling this week? Are we getting into the festive spirit or maybe feeling a little down? Who knows how the holidays are here to make you feel, but I know I am here to make you feel a little less lonely, a little more festive, and have a good fucking time today. It has been already quite a busy day for Miss Hannah. It's 11:35 and I am about to crack a Celsius. Yes. So this is going to get a silly episode. This is going to be a little crazy, a little cuckoo because Celsiuses make my brain work in like 10 times speed. So prepare. We'll get to the hecticness of the story though. Our story now begins in the beginning of the week. Last week, I have been working my little buns off, if I'm going to be honest. I believe everybody's packages should have arrived. Thank you so much for supporting me. I can't believe we ran out of mugs. That's insane. I am already getting some more in the works. So if you want to support or get some mugs, maybe you missed out on the first drop, don't worry. They will be here shortly. Plus some more fun, sexy things for the girls are on their way. Don't you worry. With this new year, every new year I kind of reflect back on what this podcast has brought us and how we have celebrated and how much of we have grown. And then how can I like change for the better, involve you guys a little bit more, get a little bit more creative, give back to the girls. So there's much more to come. Don't worry. We will get into that next week as we kind of prep and plan for the new year. But as the new year approaches, it's holiday season. I work in the restaurant industry. Best believe I am clocked in. Okay, I have been working probably 2-3 times more than I usually do just to kind of fund the Christmas shopping budget a little bit. And also it's the holidays. I gotta celebrate myself a little bit. So the shopping personally has been a little crazy, outlandish this season. I mean, shit, what's December for? I can't go outside. I might as well upgrade my life in every way possible. So yes, as my girlies know, who probably are also in the restaurant industry, it is the time to make money. I'm sure you guys have been clocked in just as much as I have. But finally, I'm kind of entering a winter break, oddly enough. My restaurant does take some time off over the holidays just to make sure that everybody has enough time to get home, to celebrate with each other, whether it is just like for Christmas or just, taking the time to celebrate the holidays, be with one another. They usually take actually a couple weeks off. So I basically do not work until a week after the new year starts. I have not had a winter break in 5 years. Yeah. So I honestly have no clue what to do with my time other than deep clean and kind of recoup and rethink every single aspect of my life, which has been very fun, very fulfilling, I will say. Thus the new and exciting things coming for all of you girlies out there. But yesterday I kind of celebrated, my first little day off of my winter break. Me and my mom decided to go get lunch. There was this little holiday pop-up. One thing about me, I love a local vendor. I love a handcrafted good pop-up. Best believe I am going to be blowing so much money at every single one of those. First of all, because I'm a server and I do take home partly cash every single night. So I always just have cash on hand, and especially cash on hand when it comes to supporting a small business. So I did do a lot of holiday shopping yesterday, which was super nice. Every single thing I purchased, my mom's like, no, it's too expensive, girl. This is a handcrafted good. Of course, the profit margin is going to be like 100%, but am I going to sit here and complain? No. Get me that cinnamon roll. Get me that knitted item. Get me that handcrafted matchbook shadow box. I don't care what it is. I'm shopping. So I had a fantastic time there. My family is doing a little Christmas bingo. I don't know. They're really getting crafty this year. So I was required to bring two $10 gifts. I figured a handcrafted gift would be perfect. I bought this like infusion kit where it has like a bunch of dried oranges, dried whatever herbs, spices, and you just dump a bunch of vodka in there and let it soak overnight, and then it's like a flavored drink cocktail mix. Love that. I also got coal-shaped soap that smells like frankincense, which I think is hilarious because someone's gonna have to go choose coal. But honestly, it smells so delicious, so I might choose that gift for myself personally. And then I had to take her to my favorite restaurant in Kansas City, Hibachi House, of course. I love that place. Best Mediterranean food you will ever find in Kansas City. My mom, she's eating the hummus and she's like, do you think this is a little spicy? Babe, it's quite literally chickpeas. I don't know what to tell you. It's not spicy. I'm so sorry. She loved it though. It was a great time. Filled up on some delicious food. Did some amazing shopping. And then my boyfriend has been working overtime recently. Listen, working for the USPS is not for the faint of heart. I'm talking clocking in at 5 a.m., clocking out at 8 p.m. every night, 6 days a week. Sometimes 7. I honestly have not seen him in days, but I wish him well. I hope he's surviving. And if I do have time, I'll be able to stop by, say hi to him. So yesterday I grabbed him like a sandwich to go and dropped it off for him. So thankful, so appreciative. Listen, Girlfriend of the Year award. Yes, I'll take it. Gold star. Thank you. That's why I get treated the way I do. It's give and receive, babe. Okay. Well, on the way home, I'm driving, blasting my music, and I'm like, the beat sounds a little off here. What's going on? Let me turn down my music. Uh-oh. Why am I hearing grinding? Metal grinding against concrete, perhaps. Pull over, get out of my car. I check it. My tire's completely flat. Fuck. Okay, call my dad. Hey, Dad. Am I okay to drive home on this? I'm like 2 blocks away from my house. Like, I think I can make it as long as the rubber stays in between my wheel and the concrete. Please don't ever do this. I was just oddly very close to home. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. Don't walk home. Just drive it home. I'll help you out tomorrow. My dad's so funny. He is retired. He was a high school counselor and he still coaches sports on the side. So he went on this rant. He's like, listen, your family, if everything is about family. You must do everything for family. You got to show up. Family is everything. Family is number 1. Grades number 2. Basketball number 3. Oh my God. Okay, sir, please just make it to my house and please get me a new tire. This morning, usually I sit down 9 a.m., bright, bushy-tailed, ready to go. I film the podcast. Well, 9 a.m., he texts me. He's like, hey, let's get you a new tire. Let's figure this out. He comes over, tries to get the tire off. Tire is rusted to my car. Naturally so. Yes. Has to leave, go get a bigger hammer, get the tire off. He's like, all right, let's go get you a new tire. We pull up to the sketchiest tire shop I've ever seen, but that's how it is with car places. You don't go to the nice luxury car places to get good prices, okay? Or to even get handled. He actually called one of the nice places and was like, hey, we need a new tire today. They were like, oh, I don't know. Like, we can maybe get it in tonight and it's gonna be like $120. Hang up the phone. All right, let's call the sketchiest place known to man. Oh yeah, we have a new tire here, used, $60, cash only. We'll get it to you in 20 seconds. We pull up, give them the tire. They immediately, brand new tire, hands it over. Done. Hands clean. Thank you so much. Here is your cash. Love you. Come home, new tire on, shout out. My car is, dare I say, falling apart though. This is one of my New Year's resolutions. I do need to buy a new car. I'm just so picky when it comes to cars. Like, I love my car and she's been good to me. She has treated me so well. She's kept me so safe. Thank you, Queen. But I fear it is time. Her life is slowly dwindling. Her quality of life is also slowly dwindling. So we got to get that figured out soon. But for now, all I can really handle is a new tire. Now it is 11 a.m. I'm sitting down with you guys. I am so excited to do so. I'm finally entering my winter break, calming down, slowing down, recapping the year kind of era. And I am so excited to sit down on the podcast and do it all with you guys as well. We also have a very fun new segment today. Next week, I want to do a confessionals episode just to kind of get some things off of our chest from the past year that maybe we don't want to bring into the new year, that we do need to karmatically get rid of. Is karmatically a word? I don't know. I might have just made that up. Let's roll with it. Just, clear the air, make sure we are going into this new year with high hopes, high spirits, no evil demons following us from the past. Today, though, we had a fun segment last week where someone asked a "Am I the asshole?" question, and it inspired me to do a little more of those questions with you all. I have a feeling most of you guys, actually, I don't even have a feeling, I know this for a fact, all of you guys are sweetheart little baby angels, and I'm sure you overthink every single thing that you are doing. So let's get into it. Let's really ask ourselves, are we the asshole, or maybe are we just overthinking the situation? Shall we start? Fuck it. Let's get right into it. Oh, Danger wants to say hi. Look at him. For the audio listeners, he is perched up behind me. Don't you dare think about jumping up there. I have too many collectibles and breakables. He loves this chair, though. This is basically his new perch. He can feel it. He knows his mama spends so much time in this chair, and he loves it here. First half of this podcast, we're going to do Am I the Asshole? Speed round questions. In the center, we are going to do some, speed round of regular questions, and then last half, if we still have some don't you dare. If we still have some Am I the Asshole questions, we'll go through them then. Am I the asshole for getting an abortion then dumping him? No, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, and no one can blame a girl for taking out the trash. Am I right, ladies? Am I the asshole if I keep dating this guy who is super into me just to feel things out but end up ending it? No, dating is feeling it out. Situationships are essentially a trap because you might as well just date and figure it out. That's the whole point of dating. You have it figured out when you are engaged. So don't worry if you're dating someone and you're like, I'm not sure. Let's still, work it out. Let's see if it works itself out. That's literally the whole point. But as soon as you know, this bitch is not the one for me, you've got to cut them out. I'm so sorry. You really do. You got to rip the Band-Aid off. Am I the asshole for having not paid for Chipotle in years? They've also taken away giving me free entrees once. I complain on the Chipotle app that my meal was wrong for a free entree like every single time. Listen, with how the portions are getting at Chipotle, let me tell you this. I bought 2 bowls, a side of guac, not even a large, a small side of guac, and a regular side of chips. Maybe there was a tortilla on the side, can't remember. That, back in the day, maybe that was $30. They charged me $55 fucking dollars for 2 bowls, a small side of guac, and a small bag of chips. Ask not what you can do for corporations, but ask what corporations can do for you. Because that is insanity, okay? They are practically robbing us at this point. You might as well get your lick back. Am I the asshole for smoking weed out of the window of my bedroom in my shared apartment? Not particularly, as long as, maybe, as long as someone hasn't been like, hey, I really hate weed. Can you not smoke weed inside? Then maybe, because listen, I hate to say it, the smell still lingers. Even if you go outside and then walk inside, the smell still lingers. But at least you're taking precaution, and I appreciate you for that. Oh, wow. Am I the asshole for fucking 2 dudes? They're besties and in a band together, but neither know that I'm effing the other one because they don't want people to know we're hooking up because of age gap. Oh, God, how old are you, first of all? What the fuck? I hate to break it to you. I really do. I really hate to break it to you. I'm pretty sure they know. I think they know. And I think they're like, oh, let's just not bring it up. Let's just keep it secret. Because they both want to keep doing it. And they know as soon as the cat's out of the bag, you're going to have to either choose one of them or you're going to have to not fuck either of them. This is like a common thing, especially when people are like, oh, I like to, like bestie hop, I'm just like hopping between men and their besties or whatever. I hate to say it. Those men know. They know. They just honestly don't give a fuck because pussy is pussy in their brain. And I hate to demean anybody like that, but men are not as stupid as you think they are. We need to remember that, ladies. Am I the asshole for being salty? My partner asked for a $150 gift because my gift was $75. Ooh, I mean, if they're not going to spend the money on you, you don't spend the money on them. That's all I have to say, okay? My boyfriend doesn't mind buying expensive things for me, especially like my recent Christmas gift, which I know was at least $200, plus there's more under the tree, because he knows he's basically getting that back. He's like, no, like, babe, I see how much money you blow on me, and I love it, and I appreciate it, but like, I can't not do the same thing for you. That's what a partnership is all about. So you know what? Go ahead and be salty about that one. And definitely don't spend double what he spent on you. Am I the asshole for using my overhead reading light on the airplane? Only if it's like a flight past 9 p.m. Then perhaps, especially if you are not reading the room and seeing that everybody else has their heads down in their laps trying to avoid the reading light. As long as you're reading the room and it's like, okay, everybody else is fine with it, fuck it, go for it. I do know, you remember my grandma used to have this throwback, but they have like these little clip reading lights, okay, that you can clip onto your book, and it has like, it like bends, so then you get the perfect amount of light just for your book without having to disturb anybody else. I highly recommend asking for that as a stocking stuffer from Santa. I'm sure he'll bring you everything you want. Am I the asshole for texting my ex sometimes? Best friend gets mad at me for it. Like, he's my ex, not yours. Okay, you don't have to bring in the jealousy. She does not give a fuck about your ex. She definitely doesn't want anything to do with him. It's because he's probably evil and awful, and she just wants the best for you, and obviously texting him may not be the best thing. So, are you the asshole for texting your ex? No. But are you the asshole for getting mad at your best friend for not wanting you to? Perhaps. Am I the asshole for going no contact with my mom after years of emotional, physical abuse? Definitely not. Free yourself. Just because we're family doesn't mean you are able to inherently cross over every single boundary I have.
Hi, Hannah. I've been following the podcast for a while, but I wanted to ask, this is kind of like an am I the asshole question. But to explain my situation, my best friend and I, for years, have been extremely close to the point where almost like a lover close. We've slept together, but we weren't exactly in a relationship. The lines were just blurred. And I currently have a boyfriend who I told the truth about our situation, and now he is uncomfortable with certain instances of us spending time together, me and my best friend. And I'm just here to figure out what you would do in this situation, honestly. I feel like this is a pretty unique situation. He wanted me to draw the line at us spending nights together, drinking together, because that was often when things like that happened between us. We still maintained like a best friend relationship, but there were just times where if we were drinking and we were around each other, like we were getting down. So I understand that, and I understand it's a boundary for him, but this has honestly taken a toll on my friendship, and I just feel so in the middle because I want to respect my partner, and this is a new relationship too. It's only been about like 9 months. So just let me know what advice you have. Thank you so much. I love you. I love the pod.
Oh my god, girl, I need to smoke a bowl after that one. Oh, okay, let's smoke. Let's think about this. Let's really think about this, and then let's get into it. So it sounds like you have a boyfriend and a girlfriend. Hate to break it to you. Here's the thing. If you are in a partnership with somebody else and they state a boundary that they feel comfortable with, you have to follow that boundary. I hate to break it to you. If you want to stay in that relationship, you have to follow those boundaries. I mean, within reason, obviously. If you have a boyfriend that's like, you can't wear that skirt, it's too short. I don't want you talking to any other guy ever. That's fucking crazy. That's a boundary that is not based in reality. You don't have to follow that bullshit. In fact, you should probably run as fast as you can, because that is a man with severe control issues who doesn't want a girlfriend. He wants a toy doll. He wants a Barbie doll that he can dress up and play with. Unfortunately, we're human beings here, okay? Now, in this situation where you're like, hey, my best friend who we get drunk together and I spend the night at her house 2 times a week, we have hooked up, and we do hook up under these situations. Now, if your boyfriend's like, hey, I don't want you being in a situation where you might hook up with that person, whether it's a friend who's a girl or a boy, if you want to be with them, you have to follow that. You do. Now, if you don't want to be with him and secretly you actually want to be with the best friend, I hate to say it, but that is an option as well. Especially if, I think when you have a hard time making decisions or a hard time actually understanding how you feel, once somebody kind of not forces you how to feel, but really like draws a line in the sand, you will realize how you feel. The fact that he's like, hey, I don't want you hanging out with this friend alone, intoxicated, especially because you had a relationship in the past, and you're like, oh wow, I don't really want to follow that boundary. Maybe it's because you want to be with the other person more. Maybe you prioritize your freedom. Maybe you want an open relationship, which I do not recommend. Maybe you just want to be with your bestie, with your girlfriend. And that's okay as well. I think I would really sit with yourself and ask yourself what choice is best for you. But I do fear you will have to make a choice whether you want to be with the boyfriend or do you want to be with the girlfriend. Do I think you're the asshole? No, it doesn't sound like you've cheated on him. Doesn't sound like you've really broken any trust. I will say if you have cheated on him, you might as well just go ahead and break up with that boy. And I'm not saying get rid of the friend forever. You don't have to like choose one or the other to be in your life. It is obviously going to be like, okay, well, what kind of boundaries do I want in my own life? And how do I truly want to spend my life? I do think you can be with the boyfriend and still be friends, with boundaries involved, understanding that maybe emotions will get in the way and you do want to be the best partner you can for your boyfriend. Or do I really want a girlfriend? And do I maybe want to break up with this boy? It's a hard decision. Unfortunately, a hard decision I can't make for you. But I can say factually, as long as you haven't cheated on him, you are not the asshole. Emotions are confusing. At least you were honest. At least you haven't broken any boundaries. That is all we can really do. Am I the asshole for asking my coworkers to do their job? No, not at all. There's a way you can go about it though. Sometimes it's like, hey, I have a really good tip for you. Like, this is what really helps me. That's a great way to like suggest to someone to work fucking harder and better without it being like, you're a piece of lazy shit who needs to work harder. You know what I mean? It's all about the power of suggestion. Are you the asshole? No, they definitely should be working. Am I the asshole for slapping my man awake after cheating? Do I ever suggest physical harm? Not particularly so, but did he have it coming? Abso-fucking-lutely. Am I the asshole for telling my dad that I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus? No. Sometimes we see what we see and we have to speak the truth, I fear. Anyways, that was a fun little Am I the Asshole segment. I have much more to get to, but I know you have lots of questions on your mind, and I did promise last episode that we would do a question roulette, okay? Look at how sweet little Danger is being behind me. Can you fucking believe it? I want to start sobbing and crying over how much I love him. Oh, also, many of you guys asked for little cats, trinkets, toys, ideas, things. Let me tell you some of his favorites, because I was awoken at 7:30 a.m. To one tiny little claw just poking me in the fucking arm, in the face very nicely, but definitely in a way that was like, bitch, get the fuck up. Do you know why that is? It's because, here's the thing, I'm psycho. So I started researching like, oh, cats aging, what do they most likely die from? Girl, please, that's insane. You don't need to be Googling that. Anyways, apparently it's kidney failure. And most of that is caused by cats eating too much dry food and not getting enough water into their system. So psycho me was like, oh, he needs more water. Let me try every single type of canned cat food. No, he will not stand for it. He does not like wet food. Do you know what he loves that is water-based? Churu treats. Churu fucking treats. They are basically crack in a tube for cats, okay? And technically, I looked up the health, cost analysis of it all, the calories of it all for cats, and on the package, it can say he can have up to 4 treats a day. In my opinion, that's fucking crazy. I'm not feeding this man 4 treats. I will feed him 1 in the morning, though. So, every morning, he knows as soon as this bitch is up, he's getting a treat. He's getting a churu treat. I take the churu treat, I put it on a plate, and I mix it with water. So, he's kind of consuming more water. It's an easy way to kind of sneak it into his diet just to make sure that he's getting it every single day. Yeah, he's fucking insane over them. He'll stand by the treat corner and beg all day. Please somebody give me a treat. So if you want to spoil the fuck out of your cat, get those churu treats. I know they make so many different like squeezable versions, but I've looked at the ingredients and like just what they're made out of, and the churu treats specifically, obsessed. He cannot get enough. That, and also I got him a stainless steel water fountain. He has never experienced a water fountain. He is 12 years old. I had to do the math the other day. He's never had a water fountain. It's always been just like a large bowl, or he prefers the toilet. I don't know. I don't make the rules. If I was a cat, I definitely wouldn't do it, but we're all different here and I can't judge our differences. But I finally bought a water fountain, stainless steel. I didn't think he was going to start using it because he is the world's most particular cat. He loves it. Oh my God. I put it next to like all my little plants, of course, that are cat friendly. So it feels like he's like in the jungle drinking water. And key here is always keep your water away, or the cat's water away from all of his food in his litter box specifically. Cats like to go elsewhere to drink their water. So he's been loving his churu treats. He's been loving his water fountain. I'm also crazy, and Santa bought him these mechanical fish. They're little fishies that as soon as you put them in water, they start swimming and they start moving around. So I'll put some of those in a bowl of water and he'll just like bat them around and have a good time with them. He's been loving that. Also, he has been loving, you can get these movable, listen, I love a battery powered operated toy because I only have so many hours in the day where I genuinely can play with him, and he's a very active cat. So they have these ones where essentially it's a mat, then you press a button, and under the mat there's a toy that spins. So it looks like something's running around in circles under the mat. He loves that thing. Every morning he begs for me to turn it on. So fun little non-traditional cat toys for you all. Also treats. Listen, this man, he practically begs for treats every second of the day. All right, what else do you guys have on your mind? Oh, this is fun. Do you believe in God? Oh, wow. Well, I mean, it is Christmas time. What is Christmas? Christmas is, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Am I getting that right? Oh my God. Wait. No, the birthday. The birthday. Wow. It's been a long time since I've been in church. Happy holidays. Yeah, so I was raised Methodist. I was raised pretty progressively under a religious sphere, sector, whatever it is. My pastor was a gay woman, like very inclusive, like rainbow cross hanging in the background. You know what I mean? Still religious nonetheless. And no matter how inclusive Christianity is, there's still like some shameful aspects of it. So I grew up believing in God until I was probably about 10. And then I turned pretty atheist for some reason. I think I was just like naturally questioning things. And in my rebellious teenage eras and also just like not enjoying going to youth group anymore, I turned atheist, where I was like, God's not real, it's all a lie, I don't believe in God. Well, now that I'm older and I've gotten out of my religious phase, also out of my like atheist like denial phase, I will say I do believe in God. I do believe in God. Oh my God. Isn't that crazy? Now, am I religious practicing? Do I believe God is a white man that floats down from outer space? No, I don't believe in that kind of God. But I do believe that there is like a ever-present energy and force. Some people call it the universe. Some people believe in it in different ways. Maybe it manifests in different ways depending on your religion. But for you to sit here and deny that there is not some sort of like presence or power or energy flowing, it's kind of undeniable. I mean, we've all felt that sometime, you know, where we feel like there's like an out-of-body experience, an out-of-body kind of moment in time that we are going through, where it does feel like we are being touched by God in some sort of way. Now, is it always a miracle of someone rising from the dead or crazy things like this? No. I do think you can find God in your cup of coffee every morning. I think you can find God in your cat. I think you can find God in relationships that you build with people. But not believing in God really harshed my vibe for quite some time, where I just like wasn't believing in the whimsical nature of life and of spirit and of universal involvement. All of you spiritual bitches out there, you believe in God. You believe in some sort of effervescent power, this connecting energy that we are all experiencing as one. Now, maybe you don't call it God, but it still is God in some sort of way. And once I started actually like believing in that sort of, or like allowing myself to believe in God again, or just like feel touched by a spirit of some sort, I started having way more fun in life. I started looking for like the details, looking for positivity in life, really keeping an eye out for God. It doesn't always have to necessarily be, like I said, crazy life-changing moments of resurrection and death and virgins giving birth. Girl, talk about a nightmare. Sometimes God is, you know, me being able to make it home on my flat tire. Sometimes God is that feeling of somebody always watching out for you, having your best interests in mind, putting you in the best situations possible, giving you the strength and the power to get through what you can get through. God can be very different things to many different people, but for me personally, I have made it through my Catholic Christian phase, through my atheist phase, and now I'm definitely in my spiritual belief phase, where sure, I do believe in God in some sort of sense. Am I able to, you know, put a finger on it and thoroughly describe it? No, but I think that's what's so beautiful about that power and about that energy. And I'm not going to force it. You know what I mean? I don't think I need to write a book about what I think God is and have people follow the religion in weird different ways. I mean, if that's how you choose to celebrate, fantastic. No hate. But I do like the freedom of it all. Overall, yes, I do believe in God. How do you balance productivity and relaxation during your period or times of sickness? So you can be productive no matter what phase you're in. I don't think you have to be at 100% or 0% depending on how you're feeling. I do think you need to figure out what the fuck is the bare minimum. Okay, what is your bare minimum of being productive? I'm talking when you are at your lowest low, what does your bare minimum look like? Okay, showering, brushing my teeth, doing my skincare routine, making sure I'm at least trying to get the dishes into the dishwasher. Don't have to hand wash them, but at least they're put away somewhere. Making sure I am fed, eating good food. What is your bare minimum? Okay? Because when you are sick or when you are on your period, you can still be productive. Even if it's at the bare minimum, at least just do that. Now, when you're feeling perfectly fine, you have the energy, you're going to be functioning at a higher level of bare minimum. So you're going to be able to accomplish more things. You're going to be able to accomplish probably double the amount of things you would if you were just enacting the bare minimum. So the key to being productive, especially when you are not a fan of being productive or don't know how to balance life very well, is finding that sweet spot of bare minimum, understanding when to enact it and when to just focus on exerting a certain amount of energy during a certain amount of time, and then when do you have extra energy and where can you place it. I just finished my period, so I'm definitely feeling this right now. It was definitely a couple days of like, I'm just going to do what I can do. But now, today, where it's like I have a full amount of energy, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling like I can accomplish more. I'm going to also grab my groceries and I'm going to do the laundry and fold it and put it away. I'm going to vacuum. Like, I'm going to kind of pick up on the slack of some other things that maybe I have forgotten about, but also aren't daily necessities, if that's making sense. Once you find your bare minimum, you'll find that you can be productive every single day of your life. Just graduated college. What do I do now? Oh my goodness, babe. First of all, pat yourself on the fucking back because you deserve it. You need somebody in your life to sit down and look you in the eyes and say, congratulations, babe. Okay, you fucking did that. Take a month or whatever to chill, to relax, to invest in self-care, to kind of rebalance your life now that you're entering a new phase. During this month, you're really going to start thinking about, okay, what is my next step? Is it applying to a bunch of different jobs? Is it, planning a trip? Is it, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? When your whole life, I see this all the time, especially with people who are just graduating, when your whole life is set up for you and you're like, oh, all I got to do is go to elementary school. All I got to do is go to middle school, then high school. Okay, graduate. Now I go to college. All of a sudden, these people have so much free time as soon as they graduate college and no plan set up that they just start floundering. It's the choice paralysis of it all. Sometimes, and I hate to say it, when you're an adult, sometimes you just got to close your fucking eyes, point and pick and choose that thing. Now, as soon as you choose that thing, maybe you flip a coin over it. Maybe it's a random choice. Maybe it's something you do feel solid in your core about. But I love a random choice because as soon as I choose something, I will feel in my soul if it's right or not. I will feel in my soul if I truly wanted that thing or not. That's why I love a coin flip because it's like, it's going to land on heads or tails one way or another. And as if it lands on something and I'm like, oh, I wish it was the other one. Fuck it. I don't have to choose the one it landed on. I'm going to go with what my gut feels strongest about. But sometimes, especially as an adult, choice paralysis will have you sitting here for 5 years asking yourself, well, what do I do now? What do I do now? What if it's not the right choice? What if I make the wrong decision? Who gives a fuck? You're young, you're hot, you're smart, you got a degree under your belt. Make a choice, go after it. There is no wrong choice at this point in time in your life. There is only choices and learning from them. So I highly recommend taking a breath, taking a moment, taking a pause, checking in with yourself, making sure you are rebalanced, especially after entering like a new room, a new phase in your life. And then making a decision and going after it, whether it's applying to a bunch of different jobs, moving to a new city, going on a trip, discovering yourself, whatever it is, choose something and go after it. How to start growing into your adulthood, like treating yourself as a grown woman? Whoa. What a question. Wow. I truly want to go on like a 10-minute rant about this. But I think one way that I have been like honing in on my grown womanness, my adultness, is getting really particular about what I bring into my life. And I hate to say the choices I make because I just talked about choice paralysis, but really taking the time to make sure that I am bringing in the best things for myself, whether it's skincare, food, people, energy, items, things. I am really taking the time to perfect it all, to really figure out, okay, well, what is the best silhouette for my shape? What do I actually enjoy wearing? What colors work good for me? What fabrics work good for me? Investing in clothing pieces that will last me a lifetime, not just a trendy piece that's going to last for now, okay? Also, skincare, not investing in random bullshit that TikTok tells me to buy, but instead figuring out what my skin likes, figuring out what my hair likes, learning how to take care of myself there, learning a daily routine that really makes me feel good and put together. Figuring out what kind of self-care I like, what truly works for me. How do I really honor and hone in on myself, even when I only have like 15 minutes to do so? How can I invest in self-care during that time? What actually makes me feel good instead of what other people are projecting into the space? I always like to give examples of self-care, but the truth is everything's going to work different for everybody else. And that is only going to be discovered by working with yourself and figuring it out for yourself. What kind of foods make my body feel good? What kind of foods really work with me? What kind of workouts work with me? What kind of jobs work with me? I think that's truly how you elevate and grow into your grown woman sexy adultness. You know what I mean? Gone are the days of impulsive decisions, unfortunately. Oh, do I miss those days? Oh, do I miss that girl? But also, am I free from the turmoil and chaos? Absolutely. I fear you do have to get it out of your system, especially better to do so when you're young and you can't afford making more wrong decisions. Listen, I'm 25. I'm still young. I'm not like old yet, but I really am feeling the call to really figure out who am I, how am I comfortable with myself, how do I invest in myself, and how do I kind of elevate my life in every single aspect. How to not let parents drive you crazy at Christmas. It's impossible to set boundaries. I love a good just like blink and walk away. Ugh. I love it. I love it. Every single time I make a plate at Christmas, especially around my aunt, it's, oh my God, Hannah, that is so much food. I cannot believe you're going to eat all of that. And you know what I do? I look at her, I blink, and I turn around and I walk the fuck away. That's what you do when people say crazy shit to you. Unfortunately, sometimes you're not always going to have like a fun little witty thing to say back. And usually when people are saying sarcastic remarks, it's because they kind of want to get back into that back and forth little thing that they want going on. And unfortunately, I do not have the time nor energy to participate in your little games. So my favorite thing to do is let them sit with what they said. Let them think about what they said. Sometimes they'll think about it. Most of the times, especially if they're fucking crazy and saying crazy things out loud, they won't think about it. You got to accept that. Blink, turn around, walk away. Oh my God. This is crazy. A guy told me I'm bad at giving head because I have dry hands, but I have eczema. Girl. I'm not laughing at you. It's just you gotta laugh at a crazy situation sometimes. You know what I mean? And if I'm going to sit here and give you advice, my advice is, girl, you gotta spit on that thing. You gotta hak tua on that thing. She got so many male followers for a reason, okay? Everybody loves some sloppy toppy. And listen, maybe your hands are dry. Maybe it is the eczema. Let's invest in some coconut oil. Slather your hands up on that. Maybe some Vaseline. Not great in the mouth, so maybe not. Most importantly, what every single one of us has, spit. And you gotta get sloppy with it. I hate to say it. Men don't want head that is like demure, and men don't want head that's like classy. They want you to be a freak down there. So, indulge in that part of yourself. Listen, eczema, I get it. but like some coconut oil, some spit, I promise it'll go a long way. Oh my God, my boyfriend of 3 years recently became a cop and it's affecting our relationship. Help. Well, I don't know. It sounds like something that might affect your relationship. Here's the thing. When you're dating somebody, actually, especially if you're dating someone long term, they probably will eventually find themselves into a new job, a new situation, a newfound just like change in persona. And a big thing about compatibility is, can you guys mesh together when somebody changes completely as who they are as a person? That's a big part of like dating. All right. And that's why it's like, don't get engaged after 3 years. They probably have barely changed after a person. Like, I'm a huge fan of getting engaged after like 10 years, maybe 5, 7, whatever it is. There is no recipe that's like, like feel it out. Don't be afraid to feel it out. So if you're 3 years into a relationship and, this man has completely 180'd who they are and you aren't meshing well together anymore, that is normal. It's a part of life. It's a part of navigating relationships, but I don't necessarily have to tell you to stick with it. All right. Because you can leave at any point in time. That's the beautiful thing about dating. All right. Not to be like, I give up. I can't do it anymore. But sometimes people change into a person that you don't recognize anymore, that you didn't sign up for, that you didn't agree to. You don't like them anymore. And it just is what it is. You don't have to be around people who make you miserable, especially a cop. Ooh, I feel like my friend kind of hates me. She's so competitive in everything. What do I do? Thanks. So, a part of being a bad bitch is, unfortunately, you will have copiers at some point in time. People are going to want to copy your personality. They're going to want to get competitive about it. They're going to want to become you. So, be a person that you want to be around. So inevitably, when someone copies you, it's a competition of who can be the kindest, who can be the most compassionate, who can be the loveliest. All right. Unfortunately, you do kind of have to see it as affection and appreciation, but it does get to a point where it's like, sometimes if you feel like they're putting you down in competition, that's just not someone you want to be around. There is really no way to call people out on that other than distance. But yeah, unfortunately, jealousy is a disease, and it usually just means you're a hot bitch. Have you ever cut your own hair? Yes, in fact, I've cut my own hair many a times, and do I recommend it? No. That's why my bangs have always looked fucked up. But I had one bad haircut experience, probably 7 years ago. Oh my god, saying that out loud is crazy. That was my last haircut. I got a cut in color. It was $250. They fucked up my bangs and gave me micro fucking bangs, art hoe bangs. And listen, I know I fit the profile. I know I'm an art hoe, but I cannot pull off micro art hoe bangs. Let me tell you that. I also asked for, like, you know, kind of like a, not balayage, but just like give me some highlights here and there to mix in the growth that I've had. Could not tell there were highlights at all. Still could see a shelf of color. I was just bad experience all around. You know when you get a haircut and then you look at it and you just start crying? Oof. I've been there. So after crying and then also spending so much money, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do my hair at home. Girl, it's still gonna look bad, unfortunately, but at least you're not wasting money. Guess what, though? This is part of like growing up, you know, adulthood. I'm going in for my first adult haircut Thursday. Oh my god, Thursday. Stay tuned. There will be stuff up on Instagram. I am getting a new cut, new color, new bangs, little 90s blowout. I found this cutesy little hairstylist in Kansas City that I'm so excited to visit. I believe in her. The blondes that she has done have been amazing. I'm very excited. So stay tuned to see how the fuck that looks like, because I think I'm going to be a new hot sexy version of myself, and I cannot wait to see her. But yes, I've spent the past 7 years cutting my own hair. Has it looked good? I hate to say it, definitely not. Am I necessarily putting energy and, you know, patience into cutting my hair? Also no, so it's probably a me problem. Control freak, controlling everything around you, high expectations, never satisfied. Ooh, girl, did you just read me? Are we talking about me or you here? Because it feels like that was a targeted question. Yeah, queen control freak here. I have a major issue with it. I think it's because my entire life I felt like nothing was in my control at all, ever, at any point in time. It was always choices being made for me, and then I always felt out of control, which then made me spiral constantly and develop a severe anxiety condition. So then when I got older and I had a little bit more free time, I thought by controlling the things around me, I could kind of navigate that anxiety condition a little bit more and make the world work for me. But the basic rule of life is nothing is ever going to work out the way you thought it would, unfortunately. I mean, sure, it will always work out in your favor, but is it something you can necessarily control? No, it's not. So relinquishing that control was very difficult for me because I wanted to grasp onto expectations and experiences and people and things so fucking hard. But in fact, when that thing was finally ripped away from me, it just made it more painful, more anxiety inducing, and genuinely worse. So if you find yourself being another control freak queen, okay, we're out there. It's okay. I hate to break it to you, but unfortunately, trying to control the situations around you will never make it better. It won't. It will never make it easier. It will never make the situation work out in your favor. Unfortunately, it will probably make the situation worse. It will probably push people away, and you probably won't achieve the things that you want to achieve because you are grasping so hard onto things that simply are not good for you. So, I had to learn how to go with the flow eventually. I was put in a situation where everything was out of my control. I had no choice but to kind of address this side of myself and to really focus on what I could control and what I couldn't control and release the things that I couldn't control and just trust that the universe or God, always had my best interest at hand. And once I was put in that situation and I kind of just threw my hands up in the air and I was like, fuck it. I am tired of grasping on so hard. I am tired of just like trying to make things work for me. I'm going to listen and trust in the universe to have something work out for me. Bam. As soon as I relinquished that control, everything started flowing so freely towards me. What they don't tell you about being a control freak and trying to force things to move a certain way as if you're playing life like a game of chess is it really puts a roadblock up between you and your blessings, up between you and the things that you truly want to achieve, whether it's a relationship, a person, a job. It puts a massive fucking roadblock up between you because you are trying to control the energy instead of letting it flow. Once you finally let the energy flow, you will see so many good things flowing towards you. And it is a jump scare at first. It is a jump scare because you're not used to it. You're not used to relinquishing control of your life. But I guarantee as soon as you do so, everything will be so much easier. At this point, relinquishing control and just trusting in the universe and God is an addiction of mine at this point. I truly believe everything will work out in my favor as long as I trust and believe in myself and control what I can control, which is me, my decisions, my choices, the energy that I do bring into my life, how I treat myself. And I stopped trying to control the environment around me, such as people, places, things, jobs, school. I learned that when I really hone in on my control on things that do work for me, it works fantastic, works very well. And also, I have a much better time with a relationship with the things outside of my control because I truly understand whether it is coming or going, leaving or entering, whatever is meant to be around me, will work out for me no matter what. And if it's exiting my life, even if I don't want it to, it probably is for the best reason. Control issues are a disease. Please, queen, get well soon. And unfortunately, it does take just being strong and trusting in yourself, trusting in the universe to kind of get through those. Understand what you can control, what is in your bubble, all right? How I treat myself, how I take care of myself, how I take care of my home, how I treat my cat, how I treat my boyfriend, how I treat the people around me. What can I genuinely control in my life? It's not everything. Honestly, it's probably not a lot, but focus on the things that you can control. Relinquish all the other attachments in your life to the things that you can't control. Everything in life will work out so much more seamlessly for you. He slept with other girls and gave me chlamydia. Merry Christmas. Am I right? Oh my God, girl. Wow. Yeah, I guess Merry Christmas in the fact that you don't have to keep this bullshit kind of man around you anymore. Merry Christmas, you're free. Also, Merry Christmas, pills exist and you can pop one. One thing about growing up is you realize a lot more adults than you realize are on coke and probably have chlamydia. So, stay safe out there, girls. I went through my boyfriend's phone and he had OnlyFans and was snapping Tinder girls. How to get through it? Oh, girl. Unfortunately, I don't think you get through it. I don't think there's forgiveness after that one. In fact, I'm surprised you weren't like the am I the asshole girl and didn't smack him the fuck awake as soon as you noticed this. please, for the love of God, there is no changing this behavior. This is an addiction, a sex addiction, a love addiction. He will probably keep doing this. And in fact, I have found most of the time when men use and abuse women constantly and just need more validation and more validation and more validation, it's because they're hiding a little secret. And they most likely probably want to be with men. That's what I've found, especially from men who just dog on women all the time. They just don't like them. They don't like them, but they think consuming more and more and more will make them like them. That's not how it works. Your boyfriend's gay. Please get out of there. Please run as far as you fucking can. And also Venmo request him thousands of dollars for just mental and physical harm. Oh, babe, please run as fast as you can. Do you ever get weed hangovers? If so, what's the cure? I'm in need right now. Oh, girl, weed hangovers. I used to, especially when I was younger. I remember the first time I ever smoked weed, I then had to like go visit my grandparents, and I was still high from the night before. And I remember sitting in their living room being like, whoa, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, how the fuck am I still high right now? I don't think that happens that often. Maybe I was just smoking boof weed. I don't get as many weed hangovers now. If I eat edibles at night or take too many dabs at night, I will notice a little bit of grogginess in the morning. That can be solved very simply. Chug a bunch of water. Chug as much water as you possibly can. It'll just naturally help like flush everything out, naturally help your body process and metabolize that THC a little faster than it usually is. Eat a good meal. I'm not talking a salad. I'm talking a full meal with carbs, with a little good and healthy fats in there, some good protein. Sleeping it off usually does help as long as you do get a full 8 hours of rest. I have found getting more than 8 hours does prolong the THC hangover. I also just think in general, especially when you're still a little high, you're just overthinking it. You're just overthinking, the night before, the morning that you're currently experiencing. Find a small little way for you to kind of distract yourself. Maybe it's your favorite TV show. Get off your fucking phone. Put on a podcast in the background. Maybe put on your favorite podcast, Smoke Sesh, in the background. And clean your house. Do something with your hands. Distract yourself. But you sitting here thinking and thinking and thinking and doom scrolling is not going to help the situation at all. The overthinking is only going to spiral more and more. This also happens with anxiety. It's how you get over it. Distract yourself. Keep your life moving. All right, let's get into the other half of our Am I the Asshole questions, and then I will let you all go to have a merry little Christmas, to have a wonderful little Christmas break. But let's get into it. Oh my God, am I the asshole for not going to my mother's wedding to a 70-year-old guy in the nursing home, and her nursing home is the workplace? So you're telling me she's getting married to a client? My only thought here is he must have a lot of money. And also, hate to put this thought into your head, but like, are they fucking? How the hell is that working? No, I don't think you necessarily have to show up to a nursing home wedding, especially if your mom is not admitted to the nursing home. Am I the asshole for avoiding eye contact with people in public unless they speak to me because I don't want to start a conversation unless I have to? No, that's just called social anxiety, babe. I mean, it might come off asshole-ish if like somebody knows you, but in general, I think most people enjoy being in their own world, especially in public spaces. Am I the asshole for cutting off my homegirl because she's choosing to stay toxic and two-faced? Nope. Sometimes you just gotta put distance in between things that are not good for you. Am I the asshole for not going on a second date with a guy who didn't have a car? No. I mean, how the fuck is he gonna show up to the date in the first place? A man without a car is looking for a woman with a car. Always. Keep that in mind. Also, another pro tip. You don't have to move out of your parents' house that you don't pay rent for to split rent 50-50 with your boyfriend. In fact, highly recommend not doing so.
Hello. I'm doing a call-in for my Am I the Asshole question, and it's one that makes me really, really sad, but I'll try to make it short. Basically, when I drink, I tend to be obviously I lose my filter, so, if I'm annoyed, I feel like I get bitchy, and I don't want to be rude when I'm annoyed or when I'm drunk. Like, it makes me feel so icky. And I wake up in the morning and then I hear everybody say that I was kind of rude, and I don't know what to do. I want to go sober, but it's I'm not even 21 yet. So it feels like a weird time, but maybe I could just be sober until my birthday. I don't know. Am I the asshole for being just genuinely really rude when I'm drunk? Help.
So, the funny thing about substances is it does put you into a phase of yourself that you never knew existed before. Molly phase Hannah, the most loving little flirty fairy you've ever seen in your life. Weed phase Hannah, the chillest, quietest, most nonverbal girl you've ever seen in your entire life. Drunk Hannah, the most obnoxious, crazy, insane, fun, wild girl you've ever met in your life. But the thing about that is, I understand all of those are weird versions of myself, but aren't necessarily truly who I am. Alcohol has this funny thing of fully making us different people, because the point of alcohol is to become out of control of yourself. Not the point. I understand that's not why people drink, but it kind of is if you think about it. If you think of it as a social lubricant, it's because you're trying to get out of that space of who you are sober and become a slightly different version of yourself who can maybe navigate spaces better. The funny thing about that is, once you drink so much, you sometimes become fully out of control of yourself. That doesn't mean that you are an angry person or you are a mean person. I think it just means maybe the problem isn't that you're angry, it's that you're drinking to the point that you're not in control of yourself. I have a friend who's like this, and luckily, I understand how substances work. I enjoy my substance here and there, obviously. But also, I'm really chill and I understand how people get. I'm a Gemini. Trust me. If you've been there, I've fucking been there. I promise. And every time she drinks, she becomes a mean bitch. She does. She says things to me that I'm like, ooh, girl, that was feisty. That was fiery. And I know I feel that way, but some other people, she's definitely lost friends over it. And all I can say is, if you have a bad reaction to something, maybe you don't have to have it in your life anymore. I'm not saying completely cold turkey. I mean, cold turkey for a short amount of time, fantastic. But maybe just understand your limits, Don't fully lose control of yourself, but maybe one drink is fine, or two, especially if you're young and you're I'm blacking out and doing all these horrible, awful things. Let's just focus on not blacking out. Now, do I think you're the asshole in that situation? Probably. But you have to understand, you right now, you're not the asshole. Does that make sense? It's a different side of yourself. It's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Oh, is that the name of it? Yeah. You're literally becoming a new formed version of yourself because of that substance. Now, do I think your friends have the social and situational awareness to understand that those are two different versions of yourself, and that's probably not the real you presenting itself? Most likely not, because they were probably also intoxicated at the same time. So do they think you were the asshole in that moment? Probably. Do I think you can stop becoming the asshole? Absolutely. And I think it just comes with moderation. Moderation, understanding your limits, understanding what is good for you and what isn't good for you, understanding reoccurring behavior and patterns, particularly not giving into the patterns that are maybe negative. Listen, drinking, we've all had our bad nights, we've all had our bad moments, but there is this funny thing about alcohol that truly turns us into the most evil, vile people possible. So if you find yourself doing that constantly, let me break it to you, you don't have to get that drunk. You don't. That was freeing for me to know. True alcoholic brain. I was like, oh, but I'm young. What do you mean I don't have to drink until I black out? What do you mean I can have a casual 1 or 2 drinks? That was freedom to me. That knowledge, that understanding of like, oh, maybe I can stop at 1. Once again, true alcoholic brain. That was so freeing. So maybe focus on moderation and then you won't be the asshole, you know? But I think this is an accidental asshole situation. Am I the asshole? My boyfriend called me an attention whore. Okay, no, you need to immediately break up. Break up with any man if he feels comfortable calling you degrading words. That is not okay. That is not something you do to somebody who is a loved one. Bitch, whore, slut. I mean, if it's in the bedroom, that's one thing. But if it's angrily, he does not give a fuck about you. So, are you the asshole? No, but your boyfriend definitely is. He called you a attention whore and cheater for posting a slideshow on TikTok because he deleted it. And he thinks I should too. It wasn't provocative or anything, just a cute pic of myself and pics of my dog. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, 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 no. This man is the devil and he is trying to suck your soul out of your body. Please leave as fast as you can. Am I the asshole for bitching out a customer? No, sometimes they deserve it and very much so need it. One of my coworkers, literally, we had this horrible, awful guy who knew one of the owners, so he thought he could do anything constantly and just be so incredibly mean. And finally, one of my coworkers snapped and said, he looked this man in the eyes and goes, "Why don't you go fucking kill yourself?" Best believe that man is never allowed in my restaurant ever again. I love the owners of my restaurant because if a customer is ever able to make us like break character, like break serving character, it's not a us issue. It is definitely a them issue. And my owners, they're not from the US. So the way that they approach like serving and handling customers is like, if you're not going to treat us well, we're not going to fucking treat you well. And we also don't have to have you here. We don't give a fuck. We will take other people's money. We don't need your mean, angry, nasty money. And I appreciate them so much for that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Am I the asshole for getting mad at my boyfriend for secretly having dildos? I tried to help, but he just, got off in the next room with them without me. How do I feel like I'm enough? Oh wow. Secret lives. I can't date people with secret lives. I don't mind a kink. Okay, we all have our special little interests and hobbies. But you should absolutely feel safe and comfortable sharing them with your partner. Especially a partner like you who apparently seems like, okay, like fuck it, let's get into it. Let's try something out. Something a little shady's going on if they can't fully be themselves. I understand like sex shame and all that stuff, but if you're approaching it in a very like, no, I love you, let's explore this side of yourself together, and he still can't get with you, I don't know. You're definitely enough. Don't worry about it. But also, you got to ask yourself, is this something that you can handle for the rest of your life? Or maybe is this something that he can go jerk off in the next room for the rest of his life about? You know what I mean? Am I the asshole for making out with a girl and posting it on my close friends when he said that cheating was okay? No, that doesn't make you the asshole. But we do need to have a conversation about performative lesbianism for male entertainment. Not that that's what you're doing, but I don't think he got mad about that. I definitely think he probably jerked off to that picture. When he says cheating is okay, he's not going and cheating with his homeboys. I mean, maybe. but best believe he's definitely going and cheating with other girls. Should you just be with a man that is cheating on you in general? No. No. Am I the asshole? I'm dreading going to my boyfriend's family's Christmas. His dad is a narcissist who is terrible to be around and treated my boyfriend terribly growing up. This family is all around toxic and hard to be around. Am I the asshole for not wanting to go? I haven't said anything to him as it doesn't feel like my place, but the whole situation is making me anxious. No, it doesn't make you the asshole. It only makes you the asshole if you don't show up. I hate to say it. It is a part of just like having a partner is you gotta go to the family events no matter how much you don't want to go, especially if it means a lot to your partner. You can not want to go. That doesn't make you the asshole. It only makes you the asshole if you're like, no, I don't want to ever go to any of your family events, because theoretically, if you're dating this man, you're gonna have to get married to this man, and all of a sudden that narcissistic dad becomes your father-in-law. Something to think about. Best thing you can really do is put on a face, try and, maybe make a game plan with your boyfriend where it's like, let's show up early and then leave early as well. Let's say we have something else going on, try and make the situation as easy as it can possibly be. And like I said, whenever somebody says something crazy, I love looking at them and going, oh wow, and then turning and walking away. That is the best way to handle crazy family, whether it's yours or someone else's. No, you're not the asshole. Unfortunately, you still gotta go. You guys, today has been such a fun, silly little episode. Sponsored by Celsius. No, I'm just kidding. I truly wish. Maybe I'll be sending a frantic email after this, begging and pleading for a code for my girls. I feel like with the things that I genuinely enjoy in my life, I need to start this is one of my New Year's goals, is I need to start repping for you girls. No, please get me 20% off for them. I promise you guys will love it, but also I want to be able to provide for you a little bit, especially if I'm going to fucking recommend something. Duh. I hope you all survive this holiday madness, whether you are celebrating or not. I do believe December has this funny energy of bringing out the inner awareness of us all, which can be a little scary at some point in times, but please understand it is just the universe, God calling to you to change up. Maybe it's time to really look at ourselves fully and transform into who we truly were meant to be. There is still time. Please do your New Year's resolutions. Think about yourself. Look back on this past year. Ask yourself, have I been the asshole? How can I stop becoming the asshole? How can I change into a better version of myself? What goals can I set for myself? Let me give you guys a very, very fun little activity for you all. Technically, this is supposed to be done on the winter solstice, which did already happen. I'm so sorry, but in my opinion, when it comes to spells and spirituality, there is no exact time. You can do it on any point in day, as long as you are celebrating and doing something to celebrate. That literally is the purpose. There is no one magical day. Maybe if you're working with the moon and stuff like that. But I learned this from a woman who has a coven here in Kansas City, who I do some group work with occasionally. She'll have 2 or 3 winter solstice parties, things like that, where it's just there is no wrong time to celebrate. The point is the celebration in itself. So never feel like you've ever missed out on anything. The right time is always now. But I did share with the Patreon girlies a fun little winter solstice ritual. It's called the 13 days of winter, something like that. 13 days of Yule, I'm not sure. One of those things. The whole point of it is what you're going to do is you are going to write down 13 different wishes you have for the new year. These can be your goals. These can be your manifestations. It can be literally anything you fucking want. That's kind of the funny thing about life, is anything you want, you can make yours. So don't put limitations, especially on things you are going to be wishing for. All right. You're going to write down all of these 13 wishes you have. You're going to cut them out into cute little strips. You're going to fold them up nice and tiny so you can't distinguish between what they are. And every night for 12 nights, you are going to meditate on your wishes, meditate on what you want for this new year, what you want to bring in, what manifestations that you have, who you want to become. Every night you're going to manifest. You're going to meditate on these ideas, on growing your heart, growing your light with your eyes closed and a candle in front of you. Actually, maybe not with your eyes closed. Point here is, don't look at the wishes. Grab a random one that's folded up, burn it safely, carefully, flush it down the toilet, get rid of it. Don't look at it. Just pick a random one every night, get rid of it. By the 12th night, there will only be one wish left. That wish is what the universe wants you to be in control of this year. It's what the universe wants you to focus on this new year, what you can control this new year. And your task is basically to be focused on this wish or this goal and to try and manifest it, to create this wish in your life. By being dedicated to one thing and giving the rest up to the universe, giving control up, simply believing that it will come true, you'd be fucking surprised how many of these wishes come true in the entire new year. You would be surprised. I haven't done this every year. I did do it back when I was a sophomore in college. And take time, of course, like write these wishes down separately in a notes so you can come back at the end of the year and look back over it. But you would be fucking surprised how many of them come true. Literally, I was writing down crazy fucking things that like, oh, fuck it, let me just write it down. I gotta fill a space. It still came true. So if you want a fun little activity to kind of really think over your manifestations, your affirmations, what you want to bring into the new year, while also having a fun little activity to celebrate the new year coming in and give yourself a new goal for this next year, Miss 2025, which is going to be full of blessings, then this is the activity for you. Many new things coming to the Patreon, just you wait. Also lower prices, which is fantastic. All the girlies who are always subscribed, this will be coming in January, but all the girlies who are already subscribed, it'll be posted like what's coming with each tier, all the new things that are coming, all the new stuff I've been cooking up for you. And also it'll automatically charge you less, which is like fantastic, especially if you've already subscribed. But if you're thinking about subscribing, this new year is going to be for you. Come join. We have so much fun over on the Patreon. Patreon.com/smokeseshshotty. And if you want to see what I'm up to, how I'm celebrating, I haven't been posting much in December, but I am going to be posting more. I just needed a time to kind of recluse inside myself for some time and take care of myself. Follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. I post the questionnaire for the week every week on my Instagram story on Sunday. It is up for exactly 24 hours. This is how, when you girlies are like typing and commenting, oh my God, I love seeing your guys' comments, by the way. When you're like, oh my God, this felt very intuitive. Like, how did you know to talk about all these things? It's because I'm very picky with what we talk about each week, and I try and answer the questions that it's like, okay, I'm getting so many of these. Obviously, this is a common issue that's going on in this point in time. Whatever's causing it, I know the girls are going through it. Let's talk about it. I've had some new people who are like, how the fuck do I ask you a question? Like, do I DM it to you? That works too. Instagram.com/Hannah Marlene. But specifically, I do look mostly at the questionnaire that I upload every Sunday. So keep your eye out. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your beautiful voices. I love connecting with you. It is such a pleasure to have you guys in my life every week. And I cannot wait for more episodes to come in this new year and what Smoke Sesh will bring for you all. Stay sane this holiday season, stay sexy, and I'll see you all so soon. Mwah!